Namaste, crypto aficionados and my fellow capitalists. I hope you guys are doing great, and I'm back again, and I'm here to give you a rundown on what is happening to the market. I know the market, we have crashed so badly, a couple of just in a matter of a day. We've gone down to like 20,000, BTC, 21,000 BTC. And Ethereum went down on Uniswap. It went down to about below 1,000. So I know what is happening, and I just want to give you a rundown, and to tell you why it's happening, right? So first of all, we need to look at the macro, economy, right? We need to see what is happening right now. We are in the middle of a global recession, okay? Inflation is soaring, okay? Is skyrocketing. Fuel prices are expensive, okay? In some countries like Singapore, we can't even get chicken, fresh chicken. There's no chicken, right? Because our neighbor Malaysia, we get our chicken from Malaysia, and they are not exporting, right? They have stopped exporting, right? So there's a lot of these issues going on, and the rate hikes that is coming. But more importantly, we've got idiots in the Fed, who don't know what the hell they're doing. Let me show you. Now just listen to this.
Happened right here on CNN. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen now saying she was wrong about how serious inflation would be.
I think I was wrong then about the path that inflation would take. As I mentioned, there have been unanticipated and large shocks to the economy that have boosted energy and food prices, and supply bottlenecks that have affected our economy badly that I at the time didn't fully understand.
Joining us now, Larry Summers, the former...
She didn't understand. These are the idiots that are running the show. So let's go into this, okay? Now, the Federal Reserve is widely expected to raise interest rates by 0.5 percentage point for the second consecutive time at the end of its next meeting on June 15th. After that, all bets are off, okay? Bigger rate hikes could be in the cards as consumer price surge, okay? So to bring down the inflation, they have to raise the interest rates, okay? Because the stimulus that was given out during the COVID thing, they had to print tons of money. And when you print tons of money out in the market, when it goes out in the market, inflation happens, right? So the only way to stop this is to increase the rates. That's what they call quantitative tightening, right? So to continue on, more rate hikes are likely in the coming months because Jerome Powell and the rest of the Fed can't declare victory against rampant inflation anytime soon. Of course you can't. You print so much money, how are you going to do that, right? Especially since consumer prices rose 8.6% year over year through May. So the next two meetings have to be half-point hikes, says Todd Lowenstein, chief equity strategist of the private bank at Union Bank. Lowenstein acknowledged that there is a growing debate as to whether the Fed should slow down the pace of rate hikes or even pause for a meeting later this year to assess the impact of higher rates on the broader economy. There is a lag between when higher rates are announced and when they actually slow consumer spending. They are caught in a quagmire. They are caught in their own trap right now, okay? If they don't increase, right, they are screwed. And if they increase, they are also screwed, because this economy, as much as they want to create a soft landing, what they can do is just keep on kicking the can down the road until to a point where it will crash. It is primed to crash, sooner or later. I cannot tell you exactly when. Is it now? Is it 6 months down the road? Is it 12 months down the road, or 24 months down the road? But it is looking very, very clear at this point of time. Okay, they cannot sustain the amount of money that they have printed. Okay, so it's all the stimulus that they have done, and the so-called quantitative easing has pushed the Fed's balance sheet to an unwieldy size of nearly $9 trillion, guys. It's crazy. It's crazy. So this is what is happening right now on the macro level, as I mentioned to you. Okay, and we are above all these, inflation, the cost of transporting goods, or high oil prices, high energy prices. We have idiots who are running the show. Okay, real idiots. So that is the first thing. That is the whole background, the macroeconomic, the whole big thing that we are going through right now. So in the crypto level, so I'll just bring it down to you. Let's zoom down a bit, zoom in a bit. Okay, so what's happening with the crypto market crash? Of course, is the USD Luna. What happened? That really shook us. That was really fucked us. Number one. Number two is Celcius. Okay, Celcius is another thing that we need to talk about. Okay, so this guy here, I'm using his thread to explain to you what's all this about. So his name is Dylan Leclerc, and he started off way back in May 11th, and he was saying crypto contagion. A whole lot of funds, companies, products blew up their treasuries with USD yield on anchor. That is what I was saying together with Mugen Power when I did the live session. If you want, you can go back, and it was my first live session, and I was just trying around how it works on YouTube. So the question that I rose, I asked was that how many protocols have exposure to anchor? Okay, how many? The more the exposure, the more of a protocol that has exposure to anchor, if anchor shakes, and it did, everything shakes and eventually collapses. So he's saying, I wouldn't want to have any value in a crypto yield product. Okay, I suspect we have some yet to be announced insolvencies here. Okay, not your keys, not your coins. It's very important. Get your coins away from counterparties. This was in May 11th, especially if you're lending it for a yield. Okay, so he's saying, certainly don't want to spread any false rumors, but Celcius, a company starving for yield, looks to be in the middle of all this. They were on the Luna bailout before it fell through. Okay, and this is what he posted from someone who works on institutional side of crypto. Rumors of Celcius being completely wiped out. Be careful if you're on Celcius. Okay, I heard they are not allowing withdrawals. They're not allowing withdrawals. They're not allowing swaps. They're not allowing anything, but you can deposit. They allow you to deposit. And you know what? Even fucking Binance, they stopped. They said, no, there's some kind of shit going on. We have to stop withdrawals. And CZ was saying that, it happened when he was on transit to France. Let me tell you one thing. Centralized exchanges are full of shit. It is not that if they say they got 1 million Bitcoin right in their exchange, they don't have that. They're like banks. It's all imaginary fucking money. And it just goes from left hand to right hand. And, it's like that. So don't put your money on exchanges. Do not do that. Okay, you cannot trust any protocol that promises you high yield. Don't do that, right? So now I'm coming back to this again. So Dirty Bubble Media says that was in May 4th. Celcius Network sent 99,780 Ether worth of 275 million at that time to Anchor Protocol in the last 2 weeks, and half of it in the last 24 hours. Is Celcius so desperate for yield that they are turning to the Anchor Ponzi? Everybody turns to Anchor. That's the problem. In order to give you good yield, they have to find something higher, and Anchor was the easiest. And they had USD Dokon behind, Terra Luna, we are behind you. So in 2021, crypto yield services had the GBTC arbitrage and the massive contagio, and secure risk-free yield. Okay, that was all gone in late fall, and the largest emergent yield product in crypto became USD on Anchor. Okay, So he goes on to say that Celcius have found themselves in the middle of another yield harvesting trade that is turning south, growing risk of large losses and potential insolvency. Okay, get your coins, again he says, get your coins out of the hodl mode and into your own custody, not a drill. Yes, your Bitcoin, your your Bitcoins, especially the precious Bitcoins, should not be in any yield bearing protocol. That's what I feel, unless, and even if it is, it should be the amount that you're willing to lose. Do not put everything of all your Bitcoins into that yield bearing protocol, right? The best thing about Bitcoin that it will give you that kind of returns, but over a period of time. Okay, it will give you even much more than any yield product can give you over time, right? If you keep it for the next 10-15 years, Bitcoin's value is going to just skyrocket. Okay, so he says that means it's not only Anchor. So coming back to this again, it's not only Anchor where Celcius were parking their ETH, it was also in Lido, right? And on June 11, STETH is depegged, trading at 0.95. Liquidity is drying up and smart money is pulling capital. Coupled with the rumored risk of Celcius functional insolvency, there could be significant selling. Okay, so he's been researching this for the past couple of weeks. He knows what is happening. Okay, the yield users receive for keeping assets on the Celcius platform is not sufficient enough to compensate for the tail risk of insolvency collapse. Okay, withdraw. Okay, he was saying like this in a couple of days ago, 3 days ago. And Celcius is a massive holder of STETH, liquid stake ETH, using Lido to earn yield on their ETH, waiting on the merge to the POS. However, staked ETH, listen to this, staked ETH cannot be unstaked. So there are secondary markets to trade STETH and ETH, and the peg is currently breaking. So the STETH, because they stake their ETH, they cannot take back their ETH. So what they can do is to sell STETH on the secondary markets. But if the STETH is lower, they're selling it for a loss, right? So I mean, guys, it's not only Celcius. There are many companies. Look at this. David Morgan, the silver guru, Canada's second largest pension fund, committed 400 million to Celcius last October. A fucking pension fund, and they put in 400 million. Maybe it's worth a huge amount, maybe 400 million, I don't know, it's nothing to them, I don't know. But fucking pension funds are putting their money in Celcius. Of course, Celcius raised a lot of money. Yeah, I know, right? Celcius, I think, how much they raised? They raised 864 million VC, right? The venture cap, when they were raising Series A, Series B, all that shit, right? So they raised a lot of money. Yeah, but they got it wrong, guys. So imagine if a pension fund, Canada's second largest pension fund, commits 400 million. What about the others? I have heard banks are in DeFi. Bank of Siam. This is a rumor, I'm not sure, right? So if banks have gone in, and if it collapses, if Celcius collapses, it's going to have a domino effect. Okay, first was that Luna USD thing. It hit us hard. We went down, right? Above $1 trillion, we are now below $1 trillion now, right? After Celcius, lower, right? And if more things come out, another one I wanted to show you. Fears of another Terra USD implosion simmer as Tron's USDD stablecoin loses peg. Tron's algorithmic stablecoin USDD has raised fears and speculations in the crypto market after its price dipped to 97 cents and lost its peg to the dollar. Justin Sun, the founder of Tron, quickly responded via a tweet that the Tron DAO would deploy $2 billion to protect TRX from the funding rate of shorting it on Binance. He followed this up with a tweet that 700 million USD has been injected to defend the USDD peg. Will he be successful? I don't know. He has CCP backing. Until and unless CCP backs him, I think it's okay. But once they take out their backing, from him, I think there's going to be, I think it's going to be another UST Luna. So I don't know what's going to happen, but what I'm trying to tell you is there is a lot of things. There is a domino effect. Anchor protocol, I was saying it way back when the UST crash happened, that Anchor was a liability, was a huge liability, and now we are seeing the effects, and we don't know how many not only pension funds, investment funds, hedge funds have put that money into Anchor just to get that yield, and we won't know the real effects until a couple of weeks or even a few months later. So be prepared for the crypto market. I hate to say this, because I'm in crypto full time, so I know how it is. Even all my alts are shit now. It's gone to shit now. So what I primarily do is I buy alts and sell it at profit and try to buy more Bitcoin and stack my Bitcoin. That's what I do, right? So my alts are like shit right now, and it's gone to hell, and I don't know whether some of them can recover, right? But of course, I've got myself into quality alts that I believe in, that I know that they can survive. But there are some which is a poor gamble, and I have to take ownership of it, and it's okay, because I didn't put in the money. I didn't put that much money in that I could afford to lose, right? I still am okay. But Bitcoin going down and everything like that, it's going to be a bit difficult, but I still believe that we can come out all of it. Why? We can come out good, because they have to do something, right? They cannot just they cannot just let it crash, right? They cannot let it crash. The midterms are coming, right? They need to show, Biden needs to show a good stock market. So probably we will be seeing it. It might take a few weeks to recover, I don't know, or maybe a month or two. But I think as we go along to August, September, October, we will be seeing, we will be in the green zone, way in the I can't say a particular figure, but I think we can go in. I think we can recover very well, and it's all on Biden now, right? If he decides to do that, if he doesn't, he's in trouble. If the stock market don't rally, because a lot of folks in the US, their pensions are tied to stocks, right? It's just like that, right? So the baby boomers will come after him if he doesn't do anything. So I'm still optimistic, and I know that Bitcoin will do really, really well, but it's just that we need to stick through this period right now. Do not invest, do not throw your money anyhow, be very careful, and we need to ride out the next couple of weeks, 8 weeks, 7-8 weeks, I don't know how long, but this next 1-2 months, it's going to be very critical, and we could go down very, very low. So get ready for a roller coaster ride, right? And I just want to say thank you, and if you like this video, please give it a like, and please support my channel, right? I want to grow my channel. Share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.